this episode, we only have one rule. Ranged units only in our army, and let's bring forth all challengers. Alright, so let's see what's down here at Thermopylae Castle. Indeed, there's a bunch of Western Empire forces. It's a fucking scrum. In fact, it looks like these guys here, they look like dogs begging at the back door, trying to get in or trying to get a treat or something like that. This looks perfect. Now, I just hope it's the right battlefield. If this is the right battlefield, it'll be with the cliffs. Look at this shit. We have 666 if you're an Omen fan. I don't know if that's good or bad, but 3,600 Western Empire fucks. 4 fucking panels of lords here, including this freaking looking chick. Oops, I can't show you our archer. Here, I can do this. In fact, we got some upgrades to do this before this battle. And since this is probably going to be a new episode, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related, and especially Advanced Field Command. We now have a full 105 Battanian Fian Champs. Zuvan's got a full health bar, and hopefully we can get on a good slaughter here. Now 6-1, obviously, we're going to use normal player damage. This is very audacious, but if we can get to that beach area, we've got at least some chance of making this a successful, I want to call it a defense, except we're on the wrong side. Fuck. The enemy's closer to the beach. However, we might be able to get an angle on them here. If I get my troops kind of over here as far as it'll let me, we might be able to rush over there. God, there's a huge enemy force. You know, of course, we're outnumbered 6-1. But if you're not familiar with this map, there's like cliff faces here, and we're going to try to sneak down to the beach. Rush down to the beach is probably more accurate. There's no sneaking with the AI, right? It has fucking X-ray vision. But if we can get down there, block the entrance to the cliffs, get some really savage crossfire from our archers, we might be able to put on a good show here. Even if we can't win, we'll be able to put on an amazing slaughter. It'll make for some... I'll let Leonidas take it for me there. This is perfect timing on my playlist. It plays the Spartan trailer. Madness. I fucking love it. Alright, so we're going to rush down there. I'm going to put one archer unit here to distract, and hopefully I can form them in a square so that we can get down here a little bit safer. But this is the beach. This is perfect. Now it's just a question of whether we can get here in time.
Archers, move! Troops! Forward! Troops! Soldiers! Forward! Omen!
We will fight in the shade.
Move! Arch Bannerlord!
We'll put the second corps there right in front of the door. Come on, boys, hurry up.
This is where we fight! Archers, move! Line formation!
I don't see any crossbow. The enemy has force archers here. They're kind of prickling us from the side, but they're a little hesitant. Maybe they've heard the rumor. Maybe they heard the rumor what happened in the north there at I don't want to ruin it in case you guys aren't watching these in order, but maybe they heard the rumor of some of our previous battles here. They look very tenuous, and our archers, of course, are at least holding them off for now. It's the main force I'm concerned about, especially their heavy cav. All right, let's get these guys tucked down here on the beach. We've got a beautiful, what is this, a sunset or sunrise? I can't tell, but I think we can get these guys down here. Of course, these guys have, this first division has decreased taken ranged attack damage, so that's going to help them get out of there without too many losses. Look at how many Battanian Fiends we have down here. We have like 140, maybe 150 Battanian Fiends down here. So we'll spread these guys out in big archers. I don't have very many crossbow. Of course, we have no infantry at all in this challenge. So this little crossbow division of like 20 guys. Now, fortunately, I see their captain. Look at all these Battanian Fian Champs. This division does have a decreased taken melee attack damage banner. That's going to help them. Fuck, the enemy's on the cliffs already shooting down. I wasn't anticipating that. And I'm going to play a little bit aggressive here, a little reckless. I'm going to have to be Conan the Barbarian. Whoops, that's a mistake. I will be fighting on foot more in this episode simply because it's necessary, right? I just don't have infantry. So we're going to be up here with our hammer wailing away. But the main strategy here, right? This is no genius strategies. We're basically going to fillet the enemy as they come into our little trap here, right? Our little Thermopylae pass here. We're going to be able to channel them. Oh, this is a problem. There's so many, just like previous episodes, there's so many horses that don't have a rider anymore. It's actually injuring our troops. We'll see if that's a problem. So the second is going to be in a square here. Their job is purely defensive. That's one of my favorite things. The guy comes roaring down. He's like, "Rah, kill!" Oh, he gets clubbed with the hammer. All right, so let's get the 6th spread out over here, and I'm going to be holding fire on some of these units here. We've got to be a little bit, well, not a little bit. We've got to be very careful with ammo. Otherwise, we'll simply run out. This is going to be a very long battle as far as how many arrows we're going to have to fire. I don't really want those guys shooting over the cliff, so let's get those guys tucked in closer. But we're going to have to be judicious with our ammo fire here in order to survive what is going to be repeated onslaughts here down into our valley. Now I'm going to have at least one vision ready to charge with us. Yeah, the enemy has no chance coming around the corner like that. This is a beautiful setup. So the 6th and I think the 5th. Let's move the 5th over here. These divisions I'll be holding fire with to conserve ammo. The 3rd and 1st are an open fire. And we'll see what we can do here. This is going to be really interesting to see how the enemy tries to get around our little death trap here. Of course, they're going to charge in heavy cav, but these guys are just going to create a bigger problem than they're going to solve because they're going to clog up the... Motherfucker. I didn't think they'd do this. They've got horse archers that are able to get down to the beach to flank us here. So we'll open fire with the 5th, and of course, those guys will get smoked. But the main threat, of course, is their heavy cav coming through that little pass. The problem, though, is that their horses getting away. Right? These horses are gonna be hurting the enemy as much as us. Charging through here, it's gonna be basically clogging up the hole even harder. All right, so infantry's coming through. I'm gonna join these boys here, flanking the enemy here. And of course the 6th and 5th can also open fire here, and we're just going to move this square here and cause incredible fucking flanking fire on this enemy force. Holy shit, there's dead horses flying all over the place. It's a maelstrom. We'll see if I can maintain my composure here. This has the potential to be a hilarious battle. And their infantry surging in under an absolute incredible, like the strongest archer fire they've ever seen. I couldn't even kick that guy. He got shot to death before I could even kick him. Their horses are like insta-killed. What we have to prevent is a big surge of the enemy here, right? So you're going to see me moving this square back and forth until these guys are destroyed. Basically, they're going to be purely defensive. You won't see me using their ammunition. And so they're still shooting. You know, when they have a chance... When they have a chance to shoot, they'll shoot. Look at these poor enemy fucks trying to pour through. They just have no chance. Of course, they get by him. Oh shit, flying horse. They get by him, and there's Battanian Fian Champs awaiting them, right? Talk about a savage combination. You see that guy in the square? He's swinging his fucking sword. And look, like these guys, as soon as they get by me, it's like Battanian Fians just come up and stab them in the back. Where are you going, Jagoff? There's fucking horses everywhere. But there's very few horses in our backfield. Our archers are firing almost uninterrupted here. It's fucking beautiful. There's absolute slaughter of horses. There's like already a 4-foot fucking pile of bodies there. Horses are flying all over the place. It's carnage. Of course, I have my bow. We'll do some work here, and the enemy here has no chance. I can't even get kills. Our archers are killing them so quick. It's still all tier 5 and tier 6 units. Of course, the enemy has a huge amount of troops. What was it, 3,700? I don't know if we can actually win still, but we sure are going to give them a fucking battle beatdown to remember. There's just a giant pile of armored horses here. All right, let's hold some more. Fuck, these guys keep flanking us here, these archers. And they're going to cause some losses, but I'm not really concerned about this, right? Like 40 horse archers against 50 Battanian Fian Champs is just dead horses. Look at how many horses are dying in the pass. The enemy's trying to make a big surge here of archers. It looks like it's archers and infantry. Open fire. Let's have everybody fire, and let's have the 3rd charge. Anybody that's out of ammo can join us in melee here. This is a huge surge. Up we go with our hammer. Let's get the 6th firing on this huge surge, and watch this fucking arrow fire. This is all of our guys shooting now, like 250 archers, and it's a scorching fucking immolating fire. There's horses dying everywhere, shields flying all over the place. Look at that shit. Imagine trying to get through that shit. It's D-Day, medieval style. Jesus. Let's back these guys up. I've got to be judicious with the fire, but when they're surging like this, I've got no choice but to have everybody shoot. I'm looking up at their ammunition. They still have a decent amount of ammo, so we're not in a perilous spot yet. And these are archers. We can't let these guys shoot, so we're going to unload on these guys. Holy shit, they're getting obliterated. There's just units screaming and heavy cav coming down, and as soon as they come down, it's just a maelstrom. Clubbing everything in sight. It's another huge infantry wave. Let's move the square to the side so these guys can all get flanking fire. I'm going to barrel in here with my mace. There's hundreds of archers just putting withering fire on these fucks here, and I'm going to truck everything that's not shot. Guys are flying left and right. The square is holding out beautifully. I mean, they're suffering some losses, but not that many. Now, Battanian Fian Champs are starting to surge up to help them. But the enemy is getting absolutely fucking destroyed here. Alright, hold fire on the 6th. This looks like a little pause in between the waves here. This 2nd, I don't really want the 3rd charging if they have a little bit of ammo left, or 4th charging. Let's pull the 4th back. So far, so good. In fact, we're getting a beautiful sunset with our slaughter here. It's just like when you go to one of those fine restaurants and you get a sunset and a great meal. It's always nicer when you have a sunset. You smoke the enemy left and right. Oh my god, it's just horses just dying left and right. You know how they say in movies, no horses were hurt in the filming of this episode? Yeah, hundreds of horses were killed in the filming of this episode. Maybe thousands. This is just an absolute slaughter pen. There's actually like a volume of troops and corpses starting to pile up here. It's like I'm like thigh deep in dead horses. Look at my character's legs. They're just vanishing. All right, another archer wave. Let's have the 6th come up here and charge, or the 3rd come up here and charge. The 6th can maintain open fire here. These guys are trying to shoot, but no chance, right? They're just absolutely. As soon as they get line of sight, they get absolutely shot to ribbons. This might be the greatest thing ever. I don't think I've ever had this much fun in a Bannerlord episode. Every once in a while, we suffer like one loss, and then there's 50 enemies that die. Got a few units out of ammo here, so we're sending them up like shock troops. I've still got 2 divisions left that have a lot of ammo, so we're going to keep them back in fire. The 2nd is in a square. The 5th we're going to keep in reserve back here. In fact, let's see if we can't get a better angle on these charging enemies here. They're all coming down a shield wall. The enemy's doing everything they can to try to solve this puzzle, and I don't think there is a solution. As long as we don't run out of ammo, the enemy has no chance here. I'm going to fly in here with the 3rd Corps, or 4th Corps. The enemy looks like they're reforming. Fuck no, we charge. You guys aren't getting away without paying the toll. Charge, motherfucker. All you fucks are gonna get clubbed to death. The enemy's still stacked up here at the entrance, so I don't think we want to charge out there till we have decisive momentum. Especially while we still have units with ammo. See, one of the problems is I'm not going to get reinforcements. You know where we started this battle. Obviously, we're cut off from our reinforcement spot here. This doesn't actually make sense. All these guys are roaring. Let's back these guys off. Let's get at least 2 archer units back that are shooting. I don't think it makes sense here to try to brood our way through. Not until we have convincing momentum. Although they're starting to make a push. Maybe the enemy's starting to give a little bit here. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's get archers spread out here. They've got a new division of archers that looks like they just came in, but hopefully we can get our guys set up to the flank here. Let's get the 1st Division charging in here as fast as possible. If we do get reinforcements now, there's a chance it'll come out behind the enemy. So it's time to make a push here. We're effectively protecting our future reinforcements and keeping the momentum on the enemy. Let's see. These archers here are very close to setting up, so let's drag a unit right into this, and I've got to wade right into this. I just looked down. I have half a health bar. These guys made a mistake and hesitated before they opened fire. Let's teach them a good lesson here. Wade right the fuck through these guys. I'm going to try to aggro as many of these guys as I can so they stop shooting. Okay, mission accomplished. Shit, now let's hope I don't get killed. I'm getting fucking stabbed to death. Alright, now let's wade in with these archers. I'm dragging a division right into the midst of the archers here. And now we're going to try to wrap these boys up. Let's get a flanking attack on. Now, wherever they run, we're gonna have archers cutting them off. Because we want these archers all to ourselves. Nobody gets to shoot. As long as they're not shooting, they have no chance, right? Look, it's Fian Champ. Just mangled them. They're out of arrows, so now they're just shock troops. We have totally wrapped these guys up. I've got a division following me, so I don't even have to look. I know behind me is a huge amount of battalion Fian Champs. These guys are completely cut off. Up comes the Fian Champs, zerging and roaring like maniacs. And these guys are crushed. Holy shit. I think we're gonna fucking win this battle. Alright, there's another huge wave coming. There's archers coming over the ridge here, but they're making a mistake, right? They should be setting up at a distance and firing at us. Instead, they're like barreling right at us. What do we got here? We got a light cav division coming on our right flank. These are light cav, though. These just don't present a major threat to our Fian Champs. The sunset keeps getting more and more beautiful. I've got 2 precious arrows left. Of course, most of our battalion Fian Champs now are out of ammo, so we basically have just 200 or 250 foaming at the mouth shock troops. And the losses are starting to add up, but as long as we can keep the enemy from getting too many good archer shots here, we've got a shot to win this. No fucking throwing javelins at us. We're going to charge every single one of these javelin throwers aggressively. Okay, there's another huge enemy wave coming. They're starting to set up in the valley. Let's get archers to their side. That way we can wrap them up in a flanking maneuver. They're making a mistake, as the enemy often does. They're putting their units way too closely together. They've got a bunch of cav that looks like it's cycling back for another charge here. A huge volley by the enemy, and now it looks like we're freaked them out because our units are right on them. It looks like they're trying to spread out, but I've got this division that I'm just pulling to the side of the enemy, right? The enemy's left flank, and these guys are going to be basically able to bore into the enemy and trap them against the rocks here. Of course, I'm going to wade in and absolutely crush them with my hammer. Archers just go to the ground like fucking bitches. And what a fucking massacre this is. Alright, now all I gotta do is just pull this division towards me. These guys will literally just eat like a big fucking sea monster. Everything in sight gets fucking devoured. The archers are now totally pinned. These guys are gonna rout. There's no way they can handle this kind of an onslaught. They're trying to reform. It's really weird. They actually look like, in this sunset light, they look like the Northern Empire, but I could have sworn this was the Western Empire. And we have a full-on massacre here in this episode. Oh my god. That's stalling right there. I'm familiar with that language. It's the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen in the game. And we have maybe the most beautiful battle I've ever fought in the game. These guys are running as fast as they can off the battlefield. The enemy is fleeing. And you have won the battle. Unfucking-believable. I mean, we didn't just win this battle. We absolutely crucified the enemy here. Look at how many troops we have left. I don't even think we got reinforcements. We might have had 100 or 150 losses. And the enemy is sent scurrying for the hills. Oof, I don't even smoke, and I need like a cigarette after this episode. Holy fuck. 2,300 enemies killed, and we lost 90. 18 guys killed. I mean, okay. Anybody who doesn't think the Battanian Fian Champ is overpowered after this episode, how could you deny that? And look, even our level companions, they didn't die. There's 70 shooting skill and shit like that. These are like level 12, level 13 companions, and they all survived just because that was such a savage setup for us. Like I said, the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen in Bannerlord, and that might have been the most enjoyable episode, the most enjoyable fight I've ever had in Bannerlord. That was amazing. Get a little picture here for a screenshot for this episode. And wow, that's all I can say about that, right? Now we're really seeing how overpowered an all-archer army can be, right? We absolutely decimated the forces at Dunglanis. We totally executed a Sturgian force in the marshes. Here in this battle, of course, using this Thermopylae type pass, the enemy's dismissed and sent scurrying with thousands of losses, and our units are barely scratched. Look at, I have 18 wounded. Whew. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this episode up, this fucking incredible episode up. Man, I hope a lot of people get to see this episode. This is the kind of episode I don't ask you fellas to do this very often, but please share that with with other fellow Bannerlord players. Tactically, of course, that wasn't the most genius defense or open field maneuvers we've ever done, but that was definitely the most enjoyable battle that I can ever remember in Bannerlord. I mean, a complete and utter annihilation. Yeah, sure. We'll do a little marriage here, especially since she looks like the perfect fit, right? They almost look identical twins here. This dipshit cousin of mine. We'll marry him off, and we'll wrap this episode up. Again, please subscribe if you want to see more of our Archer Only Tactics series or any other of our series. Right? We have many series running now on this channel on Bannerlord. At some point, we may move to a different game if something comes out that's a little more tactically interesting. But for the long term, I'm probably playing Bannerlord and giving you guys sort of tactical tutorials, battles like that to watch. And look at this shit, right? 300 medicine skill this gal has. It's almost like cheating, but it is what it is, right? These are the game mechanics. You guys can use them too. You guys, if you watch enough episodes on our channel, you can replicate this. Zuvan's barely lost half his health bar in that battle, and we absolutely destroyed a huge Western Empire force. So again, please subscribe if you want to see more. Please comment. Please add critiques if you have something that I'm doing that you see that I can improve. That's how I've gotten to this advanced game state. I appreciate you fellas. Please hit that like button. That's the one thing I always ask every episode. Hit that like button. It takes a half a second. And with all that said, friends, I will see you guys next time.